Which one did you open? That one good?
Yeah. We're live. What's going on, guys? It is a Thursday. I think we're going to be doing Thursday Murder She Hates from now on.
Because Friday's too fun. We don't want
to... Yep. We're having fun on a Thursday, though. I'm already one drink deep, and I got this one open. These are hard seltzers. 74 calories, 1 gram of carbs, 5% alcohol.
We found them at Aldi. They're basically like a Truly or a White Claw, but I think better, less carbs. But I don't know taste-wise. I haven't tried those other ones.
It tastes pretty good.
No, the other ones. Like, have you tried White Claw and Truly?
No. This is better than a light beer. Like a low-carb beer. Those are terrible.
I mean, this gets me, like, saucy.
I've never really drank in a full one, so.
And you've already had a drink. He pre-gamed the game.
Let me try these other ones.
You're just going to open all of them.
I did a little poll.
You're going to drink all 3 of them?
We're going to share.
All 3?
Yeah, we'll share all 3.
I guess it's 1.5. Okay, that's fair.
I did a little poll before launching, and everyone is a bit, before going live, everyone's a big fan of the relationship advice section.
Okay, maybe we'll just do that.
Mega says her case is really long, but it's a good one. And if you guys, you remember the one girl who had a relationship advice question for us?
Mm-hmm. Is she back?
No, but if you guys have any, we'll try our best. So your case, it's the disappearance of Kyron Horman.
Yeah.
Quite the name.
Is Kyron, what kind of a name is Kyron to you?
Kyron, I think my initial thought would be a black man.
Yeah, kid. It's a child. It's a 7-year-old. Same with me, but it's a white boy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Kyron's a pretty cool name.
Yeah. The father's name is Kane, K-A-I-N-E.
Huh.
So maybe...
That reminds me of like WWF back in the day. Undertaker and Kane.
They were brothers.
Undertaker and Kane.
Were they twin brothers?
I think they were brothers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they weren't actually brothers. They were just brothers in the...
I know. Of course. Oh. It's all fake. So, if you guys are new, this is nothing to do with keto. We just chat. We have fun. We talk about crime. We do 1 case per, like, Murder She Ate.
We used to do 2 cases. I forgot about that.
I like doing 1.
Yeah. We can spend more time really just dissecting instead of rushing.
Yeah, so this is just more of a hangout sesh. Usually we eat. That's why it's called Murder She Ate. But since we've had Theo, we've been doing it later on.
We haven't eaten in a while.
Yeah. So we drink now.
Murder She Drink.
Murder She Drink. So, should we jump into the relationship advice? And guys, share what you're making for dinner or what's going on with you.
We got barbecue. If you didn't see on Instagram, I posted. It looked really good. It tasted really good. Theo had a lot of chicken.
It's fun hanging with you guys, the Murder She Ate crew. Oh, the NFL draft's on tonight? Are there any picks yet?
Okay, we got to get to my case at some point. Yeah. Now you're just hanging out?
Yeah. So if you guys are new, a new thing we've been doing is a little bit of Reddit relationship advice. Mm-hmm. Oh no, what happened? So what that is basically people ask questions about their relationship. They're usually pretty interesting questions, and we answer them.
Yeah, we chat.
To the best of our ability. So this one is...
I can't see the chat.
Okay, well, one sec. My 33... So I'm a 33-year-old female... Wait, no. My 33-year-old female ex-wife and I'm a 33-year-old male, have feelings for each other still. She thinks she may have made a mistake in divorcing me.
Oh.
Right away. What do you think about that?
I think, I don't know, get back together.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Right away, my first thought is, once you get divorced, that's kind of, the ship is sailed to me.
People get divorced and get back together all the time. If we got divorced after having 3 beautiful kids together...
Well, we have kids.
Yeah. We assume they don't?
I think divorce is final. Yeah, I would say that's my take. Divorce is final, because if you have kids and
you have to have an open mind, baby.
If you have kids and it gets to the point where you're putting your priorities over the kids and you're getting divorced, there's no going back from that.
Well, it might be the scenario where being divorced is better for the kids than being together.
Yeah, so then you shouldn't get back together. And then here's the thing. I read into this one a little bit. I've been crashing at our house lately. My work is closer to her house, blah, blah, blah. And we've been talking a lot. So they were together since they were 16. And they got divorced a month ago.
They got married at 18.
Exactly. So there's like some strong feelings here. They haven't grown
There's
as people.
history. People hold on to history like it's their end of their life.
They do. Exactly. Sometimes we argue, and I remember why we were divorced. But other times, it's the most communication we've had. Last night we had an argument, and it led to the best sex I've ever had.
Okay, well, stop having sex with her.
That was the first time we've had sex in almost a year, and it was the best we've had in years. It was better than even the wild sex of our youth. So this is coming from a 33-year-old man.
Who's never been with anyone else is my
It's just
assumption.
like, you're right, you're an idiot, would be my initial thought. Why are you basing it on one sexual encounter after divorce?
And this is the first person he's been with, it sounds like.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're still really young.
People get in this cycle where they just need to keep on upping the ante, so it's like fighting and then like really intense sexual encounters, and that's just like that spirals out of control, and it's not a good relationship.
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
That's where this is going, I think.
Why'd you put the chat over there?
Because I'm sharing the screen right now.
Oh.
$5 donation from Tylen Yardis. That's a cool name too.
Thank you.
Chiron is the Greek farrier of the dead on the river Styx. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
What if that was just like, I was gonna get like really
some
weird.
sort of Illuminati thing?
Yeah, or like we said it and then everyone was like hypnotized behind the camera.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Next one. Boyfriend can't pay rent, but can drink 2 bottles of wine every night.
Ew, dump his ass.
I would say the same.
That's embarrassing. What is that noise?
That's Miley just
Okay.
like rumbling around. So, let me start by saying my boyfriend has never paid his full share of rent.
Then he needs to take a hike.
He has his own business that's been significantly impacted by COVID.
Everyone has their own business.
It affected 80% of his salary, but he has, since COVID hit, he's been drinking 2 bottles of wine per night, and he's putting it on his credit card, and he's saying once the government money comes in, he'll pay off his credit card debt.
So that's how he's drinking to
And
cope.
he approached her and he said, I need like you to pay some more of the rent because I can't handle this.
That's tough. I don't know. I mean, if you're coming to Reddit for some advice, you need to just end the relationship, right?
That's a good rule, probably, yeah. My whole thing is, yeah, like if you're have no money and you're spending you're buying 2 bottles of wine a night, that's not.
That's how he's coping with it. So you got a drinker on your hands too. This is someone you want to have kids with, build a future with. Those are the things you have to think about. You're only young once. Don't waste it.
Yeah. When I bring this up, he says it's because he is scared about the future and addicted to alcohol. Okay, so he's admitting he has an addiction.
Well, then, if he has to go to rehab, that's going to cost you a lot of money, not him, because he can't afford it.
Yeah.
Some people are saying red flag. Speaking of Miley, what was her issue last MSA? Remember she was meowing like something was wrong? Remember at the end? I thought someone was upstairs. I was seriously panicked.
I don't know. She just gets frisky at night.
Yeah, she's like, wants to be in heat, so she just pretends.
You always say that. Miley is really missing out on motherhood, though.
She's missing out on, like, just love. You can tell when we're down here. She's totally cuddling us.
Okay, last one. I have one more, too, but we should get to your case. This one. My 21...
Female. Stepfather.
I'm a 21 female stepfather, 64 male, slapped me, and I don't know how to process it. When I originally read this one, I thought it was a 21-year-old male. But it's a 21-year-old female.
Well, how close are you to the stepfather? Is he like your father?
It's pronounced Kyron, LOL.
Oh, and you had to donate for that.
So, to me, you're 21. That's a crime that he committed, right?
Well, it's assault regardless.
Yeah. If it's a 21 male, I feel like you got to throw down at that point. I'm not really one to say violence is the answer, but at some point you just got to go. How do you feel about that?
Julius, I mean, I don't know what household you grew up in, but we do not fight our parents.
It's your stepfather. Okay. Julius. Come here.
Yeah, I don't know how to process that. That would make me feel very uncomfortable.
And it was over like a political thing. So basically, They're trapped inside. They've been expressing their political beliefs. The stepfather thinks the economy should be open and the sick people should die, etc. And she basically said, "You're an old sick person," and then he slapped her.
What? I don't think that's a reason to slap someone.
It's not. I mean, it's only her side of the story. Also, come on.
Yeah.
Julius.
I don't think there's really much to this. I think.
Come here.
Yeah, if my parents slapped me, it'd be very different than if my step-parent slapped me, right?
Yeah, a new step 4 years ago.
Even so, like, yeah, I don't know. I would be pissed off.
When you're
I wouldn't talk to
21?
him. I would just like.
Well, you're 21.
And I would complain to my mom.
Julius, come here. Come here.
What do you mean I'm 21? What am I supposed to do?
You're 21. You're an adult. You're not. You're
Tell
like
the police? What are you getting at?
Well, yeah, I would.
I wouldn't. You were gonna report that?
I probably wouldn't. No, I mean,
No.
I wouldn't tell the police.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, if you initiate violence on me at age 21.
What does the mother think?
That's a big question too. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to my case.
Okay.
We can come back to this if we have time afterwards, which we probably won't.
Physical contact is not ever acceptable. What if you're physically contacted first? Then what do you say there? Elaborate, because I agree. Initiating physical contact, not acceptable. But you can't just take a beating either.
That wasn't a beating. For you, you're a man. It's like an ego thing. It's like, I gotta stand my ground.
It is an ego thing. At some point...
But she's a female. It's different for us.
I
don't think about things like that.
Even if the guy's like 6'5", 300 pounds jacked, sometimes you gotta take a beating just for pride. That's the way it is.
I don't know where you grew up or who you grew up with.
This is just... I don't think it matters where you grew up. This is everyone.
Yeah, it does.
You can't just be disrespected like that.
If you think, okay, so if you're 65 and Theo's 22 and he says, F you, Dad, and you slap him, you think you're disrespecting him and he should throw down with you? No, he's your son. He said something you thought was inappropriate.
It's stepfather, though.
I know, but you're saying even if your dad did that, you would throw down with your dad if he slapped you, wouldn't you, right now? Would you throw down with your dad?
Right now, would I throw down with my dad?
Yes, we've had this conversation.
Probably I don't know. Probably not.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
If he slapped you, what would you do?
I would just be like, Dad, you're getting old. Stop. I would probably just...
He'd slap you again.
I'd put him in his place a little bit, and I'd be like, Dad, if I wanted to right now... That's what I would do.
Your dad's not that much smaller than you.
No. I mean, old men, too. Especially era.
Your dad could put
strength
down.
Okay. I'm going to
Yeah, Joyce needs to go. Handle the situation.
Julie, come here. Hey, stop it.
I live 15 minutes away from where this case is based, and I've never heard anyone call him Kyron. It sounds like Kyron or Kyron.
I've heard it pronounced Kyron, I think. Kyron?
That's what I say in my head, Kyron.
Kyron. Come here, Julius. Up. Julius, up. Come here. Up. I don't know why you're so riled up. You starting?
Yeah. Okay.
Someone slaps me in the face, we're throwing down, says Jessica. Okay.
So I am doing the disappearance of Kyron Horman. I'm saying it right, Kyron, right? That's how I've been saying it to myself. Okay. So Kyron was 7 years old when he disappeared from Portland, Oregon on June 4th, 2010. At the time, he was 3 foot 8 inches and weighed 50 pounds. That's a small person.
How old was he?
7.
7 years old. Okay.
He weighed 50 pounds. And he also had really bad eyesight, so he wore glasses all the time, which is so cute when 7-year-olds are just wearing glasses.
Have you ever seen the babies that have like the rubber glasses?
Yeah, it's the cutest thing ever. So his parents were Kane and Desiree. So Kane Horman and Desiree Young, and they actually planned to get a divorce, but then she found out she was pregnant, and so they really tried to make it work. But at 8 months, she found out that Kane was cheating on her, so they did get a divorce. They separated, but they remained civil, and they shared custody of Kyron. Are you showing these pictures?
Julius.
Ah! Sugar! The cutest thing I've ever seen.
That baby looks kind of like Theo.
Okay. So Kyron stayed with his mom the majority of the time until about 2004, and at that time he was 2 years old, and she was diagnosed with kidney failure. So since she was struggling a lot to take care of Kyron, and she had to go to Canada to get like the best treatment for her, she decided to leave Kyron with his father, Kane, basically full time. So Kane, and at the time, Kane worked full-time also at Intel, so he actually needed some childcare. So Kane's friend, Terry is a big role in this whole case, so keep tabs on her. So Terry moves in to Kane's home with her oldest son, James, to help look after Kyron.
Okay, wait. I want to get this straight just because it seems big. Kane is...
It's not that big.
Is he the step?
Kane's the father of Kyron.
Kane's the father, okay.
Kane, Desiree have Kyron. Terry's a friend who has James. James doesn't matter, though. Terry moves in with Kane because Desiree had to go to Canada for treatment. And so Terry's helping take care of Kyron.
Kane and Tyron are not romantic at all?
Kane and who?
Terry.
Okay. Maybe drinking should not be included.
Kane and Terry.
So at the time it was like speculated that she's the one he was cheating with.
Okay.
So as far as we know right now, they're not technically romantically involved, but they eventually do become. Okay, so at this time, Kyron is 2 years old. So 2 months later, Desiree moves back from Canada to Oregon, but she actually ends up moving 2 hours south of where they live to live with her parents. And since Kyron is so settled living with his father and Terry, she decides to just leave him there, and she does not decide to bring him back with her because she's still also very sick. So she's still struggling to just take care of him. So in April of 2007, so this is how many years later? 3 years later, Kane and Terry get married in Hawaii, and in December of 2008, they welcome their daughter, Kiara.
And where is Kyron during this? He's with Kane and Terry?
He's living with them, yeah.
Okay, so it's one
James,
kid from each previous marriage.
So James, Kyron, and then Kiara.
Okay.
So Terry Horman, just a little background on her. In 2001 and 2, she was a substitute teacher, but she eventually quit to help take care of Kyron full time. And during the time of taking care of him, she returns back to college to get a master's in education while she's taking care of James, Kyron, and Kiara. And then in 2005, she decides to compete in a bodybuilding contest. You can see a picture of her if you want to see it. I just pulled some pictures up. And she actually comes in 4th place. So
That's a solid physique.
Yeah, and the picture, I looked at a picture from... Oh, okay, never mind, yeah. So in 2005, she competes, blah, blah, blah. And the same year, she also gets caught drunk driving with her son James in the car. She gets a DUI and a reckless child endangerment. That's just a little tidbit on her. So back to Kyron. On June 4th of 2009,
Julius.
Kyron has a science fair at school that he's very excited about. So the day he goes missing, he's like super pumped to go to the science fair. And he usually takes the bus, but that morning, because of the science fair, Terry drives him. And then, so they both go in together with Kiara, so it's all 3 of them. They head straight to the science fair. How cute is he?
He has a CSI shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh, he was probably just shirt. The previous night. He was probably watching CSI too.
Yeah, okay.
Solving cases.
So they head straight to the science fair at the school, and this is the last picture taken of him. You can see, and then Terry says that after the science fair, the bell rings, and this is around 8:45 a.m. And the bell rings for classes to start. So they all start walking towards his classes, and they have to go up a set of stairs, but there's like 2. I think it's maybe on like 2 on each side of the hallway, and Kyron goes up one while Kiara and Terry go up the other as if they're like racing. But by the time Kiara and Terry, the stepmother, get to the top, Kyron had already like passed. He's walking down the hallway. She sees him walking down the hallway towards his class. So
wait. Why are they racing up the stairs?
Because it's fun and he's a 7-year-old and she's the mom.
Isn't school starting though?
Yeah, they're racing up the stairs to class. She's walking him to class.
To class, okay.
It's 8:45 a.m.
Okay.
After the science fair.
So they get to the top, and then...
And so they get to the top. This is the top. But Kyron's already, like, passed. He's walking to class.
That seems odd.
Why?
Because you're racing up the stairs. Wouldn't you then meet and, like, have some sort of exchange?
No, he's a 7-year-old boy. He just runs off.
No! He would wave. He would, like, hug.
We don't know how close they were.
Okay, so you're saying they're both starting at the bottom of the staircase, and you're like, let's have fun. Let's race up to the top.
I don't know.
They get to the top?
Also, maybe they weren't racing to the top. The way she explains it, it's as if they were racing to the top, but maybe they're just walking up separately.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because who is it?
Kyron and Terry.
Kyron and Terry. Then they just go to their car and they leave, right?
Yeah, she sees him walking off, so she's like, oh, he's going to class. I have to go run errands, so she leaves with Kiara. That makes complete sense to me. Am I wrong? Anyone
I'm
against
sharing
this?
The screen still. Oops. Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You got to keep track, though, better.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree that that's weird?
She supposedly dropped him off. She wasn't and continues to not cooperate. Oh, you're getting ahead of us. My 7-year-old would run to class. Okay.
Yeah. What do you don't know 7-year-old boys?
I guess I don't know 7-year-olds.
You were a 7-year-old. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. By the time that Terry gets to the top, she sees Kyron is already walking off down the hallway to his classroom. So she leaves, and he never makes it to his math class. He's actually marked absent that day. It's weird, right?
I mean, it's really weird when it goes with that story of the last basically known sighting of him then, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because if we're thinking, if that race up the stairs didn't happen, then what's the last known sighting before that?
Science fair.
Science fair. So the science fair was before school?
Mm-hmm. It's first thing in the morning. That was my school too. Do not even knock that.
Okay.
You do it first thing, so all the parents can come, they can go to work, because you want all the parents to be there, right, to see their kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was definitely at the science fair. Okay.
Yeah, there's the picture we showed.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not until 3:30 p.m. that same day, June 4th.
Do we know who took the science fair picture? Was it the mom?
I assume. Maybe the school took it, I don't know.
Because if it's someone who could have committed the crime, then maybe they're trying to, like,
You're thinking too deep.
An alibi.
So at 3:30 that day, it's realized that he's missing because Terry Kane, so Terry, the stepmother, the father, and then the daughter, they're all waiting at the bus stop since they had plans to go to get ice cream after school. But when the bus arrives, he's not on the bus. Mm-hmm. And at first they aren't worried because they thought, okay, maybe he was expecting to be picked up since he was dropped off. So the bus driver offers to call back to the school, talk to the secretary, and say, like, hold Kyron, his parents are coming for him. So he calls the school, and the parents, they just assume he's at the school, so they head off, they go to the school. And after talking to the secretary, it's realized that he can't be found anywhere, and the secretary, like, tells the bus driver that, like, he was marked absent all day, like he was never here. So she thinks something's wrong, obviously. So she immediately calls 911 at 3:46 p.m. and as she's calling 911, the Hormans approach the school. So I think it's weird that no one knew he was found missing before that, because when I went to school, and maybe this isn't all schools, at that age, especially 7, like, if I wasn't at school and my mom or dad didn't call to say, hey, Mega's not coming in, the school calls the parents,
right?
Most
schools call.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they didn't call. And this school was 300 kids. So that's a small school.
I'm sure there's some schools, though, that don't call. 300 kids is not that small for an elementary school.
Oh, mine was much bigger.
300?
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Is it?
How big is your elementary school?
Well, I just know there was, like, 3 middle schools, 5 elementary schools, and they all go to 4,000 students in high school.
Yeah.
I guess that's around 300.
Yeah,
but our school called.
Yeah, same.
Most schools alert the parents. Yeah, at that young of age, it's weird that you wouldn't. Okay. So the secretary also calls Desiree to see maybe if she picked him up.
Were there witnesses for the staircase story?
No.
Okay.
No, this is just Terry's account. But Desiree confirms that she didn't come to pick him up. So by 4:30 p.m., the local police arrived to the school and the Hormans' home. separately. And then by 5:30, there's a broadcast message sent to every parent over the phone alerting them to a missing child in Portland, which is great. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
So that's pretty quick response there.
Fabulous, yeah.
But assuming he was gone at 8 a.m., around about then, still pretty long.
Yeah,
But from when they knew he was missing, yeah.
Exactly. So the police also informed the FBI of Kyron's disappearance, and by 7 p.m., the county's search and rescue team gets involved. And then by 8:09 p.m. that same day, the team arrives at the school and the Horman's home. And the searches are really, really intense, and there's multiple searches that occur over the following weeks. Photos are also emailed to newspapers and TV stations, and the following day a press conference is held. And then a tip line is open. Rewards are offered, but obviously nothing comes of any of this.
So they're doing everything.
Yeah. By June 5th, the FBI and National Guard are involved, and there are interviews taken of all 300 students at the school, including the staff and the parents. That's a lot of resources.
You get a little dicey when you start interviewing the kids. The kids just say random stuff at 7 years
farts.
old. Yeah, exactly. No, there's this one case, maybe we should do this at some point, where there's like a daycare. And I told you the story before, right? There's a daycare, and the first kid started saying, like, yeah, the people at this daycare, they rape me, and they do devil worship. And then, like, 30 different kids all said the same thing. They're like, yeah, the people there, they rape us, and they do devil worship, and they do all this stuff. And it was, like, all fake. Like, none of that happened. But the police were, like, prosecuting everyone. It was a crazy story. I got to look it up. We'll do that down the road at some point. Come on, Julia.
So over the next several days, the Horman family remains quiet and opts not to talk to the media because they don't think it's in Kyron's best interest to go on camera.
So when we're saying the Horman family, who are we talking about?
Kane and Terry.
Okay, so his parents.
But also Desiree.
Okay.
She's not a Horman, but I'm including her.
Okay.
But yeah, all of his parents.
Come on, what's going on with you?
The public isn't happy about this, so on June 9th, they released a statement thanking the public and urging everyone to just check their yards and be on the search for Kyron. Kyron's family appear on camera for the first time at a press conference, and Tony Young, so you can show this picture.
Tony Young, this guy here?
Yeah, show the picture. And Tony Young, he's the mom's new husband. You can see on the left, that's Tony, that's Desiree, and then the right is Kane and Terry.
This is Kane?
Yeah.
This is Terry. Desiree?
Mm-hmm. And Tony.
Tony's a new guy in the mix.
Yeah.
So was he in play when the disappearance happened? Was he like dating at all, or?
Well, they appeared together just like a couple days later, so yeah.
Okay.
So Tony Young, the mom's new husband, takes the stand and addresses Kyron saying, "We miss you, we love you, we need you home now." And then Kane also takes the stand and speaks about how grateful he is about the community.
Not the stand, he's just like doing an interview, right?
Yeah.
The stand is like in court.
Well, takes like this,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. Speaks at the conference and says he's grateful for the community's help and also that we need you home now. I thought it was weird that like Tony was the first one to say anything and like
it's very weird.
Even said anything at all. Like, why didn't the moms, especially Terry, she'd been taking care of Kyron all this time.
Yeah.
She's like responsible.
But if he just wanted, like maybe she wasn't into media stuff and she asked him if he would do it for her or something. But yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird.
I don't know. If you love a child, now that I've had a child, you go to like the end of Earth and back. Isn't that a saying?
Yeah, to the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
I know about, yeah.
To hell and high water,
Something
whatever
like
it's
that.
saying.
First impression, Tony looks shady.
I mean, it's like that is a pose for like a wedding photo, isn't it?
Yeah. Does he look a little shady?
He doesn't look shady.
He actually looks like the most square person out of this group. I mean, Kyron. Is that Kyron?
Kane.
Kane looks shady. Kane looks like
he...
Man has done some drugs in his past.
I was going to say,
sure.
like, he's been in a gang or, like, lots of drugs.
I think drugs, probably.
No disrespect, though. Obviously, this
guy looks like a square, right? Like...
Yeah.
He works a 9 to 5, drinks a couple beers on the weekend.
That's a square to you? Okay. the search for Kyron is the largest in Oregon's history. It lasted 10 days and cost about $1.7 million. That's
a lot of money.
I didn't realize searches cost that much. Yeah, the resources. I guess the National Guard.
When you start billing by the hours per search person, yeah, it starts adding up quickly. I used to always do that when we had meetings at like my software company that I worked at a long time ago. I was like, I'm just tabulating like everyone's hourly. And I was like, that meeting just cost us like $4,000. This is such a waste of money.
You were clearly an employee that wasted their money if that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
You're just like sitting at a
sitting
meeting.
There
you're
counting up
supposed
the
to listen.
money. I'm like, why are we spending $4,000 on this meeting?
Okay. So the authorities go to Skyline Elementary and start handing out flyers with photos of Kyron, Terry, and her white Ford pickup truck. You can show the picture.
There's a pickup truck picture? Oh.
Yeah. So this to me, I don't know what this signifies to you, but they're thinking like Terry's potentially a suspect.
Wait, how do I? Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay, so this is what the police sent out?
Yeah, they hand out at the elementary school. They just hand out to students.
So photo of Kyron. White Ford F-250. This is whose truck?
Who do you think's?
I forget his name. The square guy?
Terry. Why would Tony even... You are not even present.
I'm having some trouble following along.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so this is Terry's truck.
Because she dropped her son off in the truck.
Okay.
They all connect.
Okay.
Okay. So the flyers have questions that they want the kids to answer and hand back. So this is Terry's timeline that she says is, don't read this, you should be listening to me.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I love the timelines.
Okay. So she took Kyron to the science fair and saw him for the last time at 8:45 a.m. walking to his class. She goes back to her truck to run errands with Kiara. She goes to the grocery store to pick up ear medication for Kiara's earache, and she's seen on CCTV at the store, and the receipt she has, it says 9:12 a.m. So that could be valid. Okay. She then heads to the dry cleaners just before 10 a.m. And the worker at the dry cleaner says that she came in alone. So Kiara...
Do we have time frame there?
Just before 10 a.m.
Okay.
That's what I said. So she came in alone. So no Kiara who's in the car. And this is what, 2010? And Kiara was 2 years old. Could you live a 2-year-old in the car? Maybe.
Yeah, you could probably. These days,
really?
Probably not, but...
Okay, yeah, maybe back then. Crack a window or something.
Yeah.
But there were eyewitness reports from parents and students saying that they saw her leaving with Kyron that morning holding his hand out the side door. But no documents confirm this. It's just Desiree, the mom, the real mom, mentioning this in interviews.
Was Desiree there at the science fair too?
No. She was 2 hours away at her parents.
So she's basically just asserting that there were people that saw them together leaving?
Well, if she's saying there's eyewitness reports, then maybe some people told her. She's like going around talking to everyone.
I'm not listening to her, though. I'm listening to police.
I know.
Okay, so there's no report. In my case over here, there's no reports of
there's
eyewitness.
Just...
Okay.
Right. It's just people...
Julius.
Claims that people made.
Because Desiree seems to be motivated probably to not like Terry.
Yeah.
Right?
Because her son went missing under her watch?
Yeah, and because of ex-husbands and stuff.
Well, she chose to, I guess, kind of. She chose to leave her son there, so. So between 10:10 a.m. after the dry cleaners and 11:30 a.m., she drives around to soothe Kiara because of her earache. So that's something that parents do. But it's also 1.5 hours of unaccounted time. And the police couldn't find any footage of her car, like, going back and forth on any of the roads.
1.5 hours. I don't know. If I'm thinking first time ever murderer, 90 minutes seems like not a lot of time
for a 50-pound body?
Yeah, I get, but it seems premeditated to me then, right? The whole, like, bringing him to school and leaving with him.
Yeah, of course.
So you probably had some kind of plan in place, but still... So is that the only window? Is that the biggest window in this whole day? Mm-hmm. Man, that's pretty tight, I think.
And then at 11:39, she checks into 24-Hour Fitness and puts Kiara on the on-site daycare and works out till 12:04. That's a short workout. And then returns home at 12:40 p.m. At 1:21 p.m., she uploads 9 photos on her Facebook, one of them being the science fair picture that we showed you earlier. Then at 2 p.m., Kane arrives home, and at 3:30 p.m., the entire family goes to the bus stop. That's the timeline. So Terry and Kyron's relationship. And this is, So apparently there are emails mentioned by both Kane and Desiree, so both parents, that are out there from Terry to her relatives, talking about how much she hates Kyron and how he's the reason that their marriage she's unhappy in her marriage, basically. And in some interviews, Kane asserts that he's read these emails, and then in some he denies. I couldn't find any of the emails, but there's a lot of talk about the emails. And then Kane shed some light on Terry's relationship with Kyron, just saying that Terry held Kyron to very high standards, given she was like a teacher. And then every day, this is just something interesting, every day the students at the school, they would get like a color card depending on how well they did. So there was green, yellow, red, or blue. So green was you did the best, yellow, meh. And then red or blue, there's an issue, and only for red or blue would the teacher have to call the parent and inform them. But Terry would insist on talking to the teachers every single day to find out what color card Kyron got, and if Kyron didn't get a green, she would make Kane punish him. And
some parents are like that. I'm not mad at that.
And Terry also would regularly email Desiree, the mom, about Kane and Kyron complaining that she would be like a better teacher. She just like was more so in contact with. She's just a little weird. I think she's weird.
What if she went to the gym to take a shower instead of working out? That's why it was so short.
Ooh.
That's a good theory.
Wow. Who said that?
Amy Thompson.
Great work, Amy.
And 90 minutes does seem like a pretty long time to just mindlessly drive around with a child.
No, not with a sick 2-year-old. I would do that with Theo.
Would you?
Think about the time we've just done nothing with Theo. Remember when he had his tummy ache? We were upstairs. We were doing like the poop thing.
Yeah.
So throughout June, Carrie takes 3 separate polygraph tests, which I know you're not a big fan of. They don't hold any validity. They're not held up in court, but I'm going to talk about them. She fails the first one. She walks out on the second one and then fails the third.
She walks out?
And fails the third one. So, excuse me. So she was furious about how she failed the first test and complained about how she was deaf in one ear and couldn't fully hear what the person was saying. And she even insists on taking the second and the third. She is not even like asked to take the second and third. She's like, I failed the first one. I'm going to take another one. But she walks out on the second one because she feels like the people aren't administering it. The people that are administering it aren't taking it seriously. So then she goes back. She fails again.
That seems like I gain more from just her actions there than the actual results of the test. That seems like a guilty person.
Yeah, exactly. Great thinking.
Thanks.
It's not about the polygraph results. It's about how they respond to...
Because I can see... I know these personality types. Like when you're trying to bash down a wall of lies and then you realize it's all coming crashing down in the middle of a polygraph test and you just storm out.
Yeah.
You know those type of people, right?
Yeah, of course. If you become defensive, you're obviously guilty.
That's, I feel like, how it went.
Someone said, why would she bring the little girl to the daycare at the gym if she was on medication and sick with an earache? That's also a great point. What a careless mama. I mean, maybe you're not that careless. Maybe you have to get your workout in. But if your child's sick, that's a priority, isn't it?
That's sort of, I mean, that's sort of a common thread, like you realize when we start, every case is like, this is what normal people would do, but usually these cases don't happen to normal people. It's usually like crazy stuff going on in their daily life. They're the type of people that bring babies on medication to the LA Fitness daycare.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get a move on here.
We got a lot left?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay.
So, plot twist, Rudy Sanchez, the landscaper who worked on their yard, on Terry and Kane's yard the year before, came forward telling the police that Terry tried to hire him to kill her husband 6 months prior.
Whoa.
6 months prior. She met him at a restaurant in broad daylight, offered him $10,000 to kill Kane because he was having an affair, physically and mentally abusive, and she was worried that he would take Kiara away.
What's the landscaper's name?
Rudy Sanchez.
I feel like it's kind of racist to just be like, hey, you're a Mexican guy. Do you know about hitmen? Can you kill him for me? No?
Maybe. I don't know if she was thinking that. I think...
That's how I interpreted it.
Oh.
But that definitely makes me think Terry could be like the one who did this, for sure.
So the police organize a sting and put a wire on Rudy, telling him to say he's killed her husband and he wants his money. But when he does this, Terry seems confused. He immediately calls the police. But the police still go straight to Kane and they inform him, your wife tried to hire someone to kill you. The best thing you should do is take your daughter and leave.
You know what else it could have been?
So that's what he does.
You know what else could have happened? Kane could have told was it the gardener?
Yeah.
To do this, to like go to the police.
No.
Why?
Because Kane's on her side up until this point.
Okay.
He was like very supportive of her and didn't think she had anything to do with it.
Okay.
So up until this point, like I said, Kane is very much on Terry's side. But after the police tell him to leave, he does leave and he files a restraining order against her. Then there's this Sauvie Island ping theory. So this is an island about 10 kilometers northwest of Portland. And apparently Terry's phone had pinged on the island, indicating she was there for a period of time. And the sheriff's office even releases a statement saying that cell phone records indicate Terry Horman may have been on Sauvie Island on June 4, 2010. But there's two things that are issue here. There's only one bridge that can take you in and out of Sauvie Island, and it has cameras. And at no point does Terry's truck take that bridge that day or days preceding.
Okay, that's conclusive to me then.
There's no cell phone tower on Sauvie Island. It would have to be a tower. It's a tower off of Sauvie Island that covers that area. So it doesn't even mean she was there.
Yeah, so she wasn't there.
Yeah.
And
but the police released the statement.
Her being on
so people
Sauvie
are running
Island,
away with it.
Yeah, does her being on Sauvie Island mean she killed the kid?
Well,
she could kill the kid anywhere.
There. He could be buried there.
He could be buried not there.
Yeah, I know, but that's probably a better spot than just not there.
Why? Just because it's called Sauvie Island and it sounds like
no, because it's an island. People don't go there.
In Oregon?
Yeah.
I don't know how inhabited is Sauvie Island. Let's look it up.
It's not inhabited.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I would say that the camera's more conclusive than some cell phone ping.
I mean, the cell phone ping didn't ping on Sauvie Island. But the police released this statement, which is kind of reckless.
How do you spell Sauvie Island?
Sauvie. And so people are just running away with it. Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, it looks pretty uninhabited, I'd say. Where are we? So, I don't know.
You don't know what?
Yeah, no houses. Yeah, that looks like a place to bury someone. Big time.
Okay.
Right? It's not really even an island, though. There's only one bridge there? That seems weird to me. That there's only one bridge.
That goes to it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, accomplice Dee Dee Spiker. Is that how you say it? So, in July, Dee Dee, Terry, and another friend go out to buy burner phones, which is weird.
What?
The unnamed friend, however, had an alibi for the day Kyron went missing, so that person is immediately just, like, removed from the picture.
Why would they buy burner phones?
Because Terry thought her phone might have been tapped, which, if you're not guilty, it doesn't matter, but some people are just weird.
Yeah.
So, Dee Dee, however, was an hour late that day to a lunch with her employer. And when she's later questioned, she says she was volunteering as a landscaper and didn't have her phone. And the lunch date, she didn't think had a specific time. You could just show up whenever, because that's how lunch dates work. But she wasn't actually volunteering, the police find out, but she was employed and paid for the landscaping services. So this was also just unaccounted time, this hour, that she wasn't anywhere to be found.
And what time was this at? Afternoon?
That morning.
Oh.
Before lunch. Julius?
He's fine.
Theo's sleeping.
He's going to wake up Theo, but it's okay.
So then comes Michael Kirk. Kane's old high school friend, Michael Kirk, turns up and wants to help look for Kyron. And Terry and Michael hit it off, and their texting turns to sexting. And
these people are insane. This is how it always goes.
And Terry, it almost seems one-sided. I read through them, and it's not too explicit. I didn't go too deep into it.
You want to pull them up?
Not really. It's boring.
Why'd you send them to me then?
Just in case we had time, but we're running short, and sex aren't the
sex aren't that important.
Yeah, but it's pretty evident that from looking through them, if you guys really want them, we can link them for you. You can read them yourself.
They're really long too.
Yeah. It seems very much so one-sided. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. And she's like, blah, 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 blah. She's doing a lot of the chatting. And then even she's on a Dr. Phil episode later on, and she defends these texts by saying that she was getting even with Kane because at that time, Kane was cheating on her.
What does that even mean? Getting even? Is that how normal people think?
Yeah, 100%. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
It's just dumb. How is this going to get even with anything?
Jealousy. Okay. So at the time, she was also posting weird normal statuses on Facebook alongside the missing Kyron photos. One being, hitting the gym tomorrow. I didn't get home till 8 p.m. tonight, ... And this was on June 8th, 4 days after Kyron went missing.
What?
That's weird to me.
That's super weird. So it's hey guys, let me know if you see my son. He's been missing for 4 days. Oh yeah, by the way, hitting the gym, 8 p.m. Hustle. #hustle.
Okay.
What?
In July of 2010, several of Terry's friends are subpoenaed and questioned, including Kane and Desiree, and in a grand jury trialed. But all of this leads to nothing. So let's look at motive for Terry. So there's 3 possible ones. Why'd you just pick that up?
Because there's not a lot left.
Open this one.
You want to share it?
Sure.
Okay.
So she could be punishing Kane for the cheating. But oddly, Kane had come forward in interviews saying that their marriage was good. So it just doesn't make sense that she would want to punish him.
Well, that never makes sense. So
2, she was actually mentally ill. So Kane has spoken.
I'm starting to think that might be the case.
Spoken to her alcoholism and postpartum. She apparently had postpartum depression after Kiara was born.
And the baby's 2, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
And 3, she killed Kyron to get out of the marriage because Kane was controlling and narcissistic. So there's also speak of that.
Are these the only we're on theories already?
No, those are motives for her. But yeah, we're getting close to the end here. Okay, so on June 1st, 2012, Desiree files a civil lawsuit claiming Terry was responsible for Kyron's disappearance, and she's seeking $10 million in damages. During this trial, Dee, the potential accomplice, was questioned and pleads the fifth to 142 questions. She even refuses to identify a photo of Kyron, claiming that she had never met him before.
Had she, though? Do we know that she had?
I don't know.
I'm fine with that. I'm always fine with just not talking.
I think pleading the fifth is just... the people that plead the fifth are the people that have reason...
I completely disagree. I think I'm comfortable
Why
with you pleading...
Why do you plead the fifth?
Because you can be convicted of crimes that you didn't commit. I would think you should just always plead the fifth. Never talk to police. That's basically the best
then you're not trying to
philosophy.
help get to the bottom of a 7-year-old missing case.
It doesn't matter because you're more... But when you're talking to police, you're more likely to incriminate yourself, and then they just randomly want to pursue you.
She's on trial. This is a trial. She's not talking to the cops. She's in front of a judge.
I don't know. I never fault anyone for pleading the fifth.
I just assume there's some guilt there. Because then you could potentially incriminate yourself.
Terry is just like Casey Anthony, who wanted out clubbing after she killed her daughter.
Well, then do you think that...
That's Dr. Glow.
But then do you think they're both guilty or they're both innocent?
I think they're both guilty.
I don't know what Dr. Glow is saying, though. Is she just this is how she's coping? By, hitting the gym and posting about it?
It does... How old was she when she did the bodybuilding show?
2000... I don't know how old she was.
Okay. How old was she when Kyron went missing?
How would I know that?
I don't
know. Okay. On June 30th, 2013...
If Theo went missing, would you be pleading the fifth? I guess not.
No, I would do everything in my power to help.
But that's different because
I love him and he's my real son.
He's my son, yeah. So, like, my son, I'm obviously willing to go down in potentially saving him. But it's not Dee Dee's son. Dee Dee was, like, a friend of whose son it was.
Yeah.
So, in that instance, I think it's different.
A shitty friend. On June 30th, 2013, Desiree dropped the lawsuit not to disrupt the police investigation. So in 2014, Terry tries twice to change her name, but she's denied both times because it's not in the public's best interest that she could just change her name and potentially flee. And then in March 2018, Terry remarries and changes her last name.
Who'd she marry? That guy?
What guy?
The guy she's in that picture with.
You're not even following.
This guy here. Yeah, this guy, right?
Who is he standing next to?
Him?
Yeah.
Isn't this Terry?
That's Desiree.
That's Terry.
Yeah.
I'm not following the whole relationship dynamics in this story that well.
Terry's the stepmom. Okay. Desiree's the real mom.
Okay.
And then in June 2018, Desiree, she goes to Facebook, the real mom, to write, "Stay tuned, something big is coming, I promise you." And then in June 2019, a year later, she announces there will be a book written about Kyron's story.
That's the big news?
I don't know if that's it, but that's all I could think.
If I was a mom, though, that wouldn't be big news to me at all. Big news is like, we're getting forward in this case. We found the kid, something like that. Like a book, who cares?
So the potential suspects, Terry, we've talked about her quite a bit, but Kane, he had a strong alibi that morning and no real motive. Desiree...
what was his alibi?
He was at work.
Okay.
Desiree could have picked him up and harmed him. That's a theory, but I don't think she'd have motive.
We don't know her whereabouts?
No.
Okay.
Or Kyron was taken by a random person, because realistically, during the science fair, anyone could just walk in. Any adult, any child, because it was just open to the public for the science fair.
But Terry said that she walked him to class.
Yeah.
So
if we believe Terry, then between the time before he got to this classroom, he could have met someone and they swiped him.
It seems to me, I mean, the most
or
likely
maybe she
theory...
never walked him to class. She just left.
With him.
With him, without him.
The most likely theory is that she took him when she said she was walking him to class.
Yeah.
Right?
So no one was actually ever named a suspect in this case.
And like a 2-year-old kid, they're not doing really any kind of eyewitness like Kyron was here.
No, I don't think she can speak full sentences.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like Terry did it. I don't really see any other theory that's that feasible. Desiree lived 4 hours away from Portland. Maybe Tony and Terry both wanted Kyron out of the picture and colluded together to get rid of him.
Yeah. Wait, who?
Tony and Terry.
Oh. I think there is fingers pointed at the stepfather as well.
Yeah. Do we know his whereabouts?
No. I didn't have a lot of time on this. I feel like this was a long one.
That was a good one. So yeah, I'm saying it's probably Terry.
I think it's Terry too, but...
The motive's just a little weak. I think you got to assume a lot. You got to assume... And we do have some good evidence that she was like not fully in her right mind at least, right?
Yeah. Yeah, potentially.
She dropped him off at school, but the school said he didn't show up. Yeah, so who are you going to believe? The school, I would say.
Well, you don't have to sign in when you get to the science fair. You're not accounted for until you go to class. And he was clearly at the science fair, so he was at school.
I find it kind of weird that the same day, some people do this, but she posted the science fair picture of him at like 1 p.m. that day.
Yeah.
It seems like her day was structured really well for disposing of a body.
Well, the unaccounted time.
Yeah, but it's like I have a receipt here. I made sure the laundromat guy saw me here. I had some kind of like lunch date set up. I posted a picture
lunch
here.
Lunch date was Dee Dee.
Yeah. But still, she set it up in a way to like have an alibi throughout the whole day. You know? They're both involved, someone says.
Yeah.
I just read that Terry and Kane divorced 24 days after Kyron's disappearance.
That would make sense. If you think your wife tried to kill you.
He had to be picked up by a family member for the school not to call home. Yeah, I don't think he would just leave with a rando.
But he was never accounted for.
At school, except for at the science fair.
Right. Because of that picture.
Did no one see Kyron at the fair? That's weird.
I'm sure he was at the fair because his picture's right there.
I mean, yeah, if you look at this picture...
There's a little girl in the background.
Yeah, there's a little girl back there.
I mean, everyone set their science fair up.
Yeah. I mean, this is also, if you're thinking about it, good cover for a murder, too. You're like, science fair, everyone will see him. He has his exhibit set up. It was very clearly he's there. And if we're talking about the quality of the science fair project here...
The red-eyed tree frog, he did a good job. Look at the one next to it. No offense.
That's so bad. Because with science fair, a lot of it is about the parents, right? Like, they're making sure you're doing a good job.
For sure.
My dad was very precise with the measurements, with the glue stick.
My dad did not care at all. He's like, don't do anything.
No, I actually really appreciate it. He was like very much like, if you're going to do something, do it right. Like, make sure these are equally spaced out if you're going to do 3 things on one...
Your dad was calling to see if you got that green card.
Green card? What do you mean?
Green, yellow...
Oh. Green card is like an immigration thing.
Yeah, I know.
But the green light thing, yeah. Oh, no.
It's card. It's not a light.
What do you mean?
You get a green card. You don't get a green light.
At the school. It's a green... It was a card, too?
Yeah.
Because at my school in elementary school, we would have like ratings, too. Did your teachers do ratings?
No.
Yeah, my parents were the type that would call in and be like, did Matthew get his good ratings this year?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My parents never called in.
It's impressive the kids that are really just self-motivated from a young age, where even if their parents don't call in, they still want to do a good job.
Yeah.
Terry hurt that baby. Maybe she was mad he didn't win and took him home in angry. I don't think that is. I don't think the science fair played in too much. What even is the adjacent exhibit about? Pond turtles?
Oh.
Yeah, see, that would be a good mini mystery. It looks like it is about pond turtles, maybe? Can we get even closer? Yeah, we can. So we have like some sort of Stouffer's.
That's a shake and bake. Like, yeah, stovetop
cooking
stuffing
display there. I do see some sort of turtle, I think, there. And then... Yeah, I think it's... But it's not pond because it's P-O-N.
Pond.
Oh, okay. That's how you spell pond, yeah. So it does look like it's pond turtles. Yeah, just quality over here is really...
That's literally what mine would be.
But this is what happens when you just let the kid do it and there's no parents helping out. So I almost would like give this a better grade than this one.
I'm sure he did it all himself. I know. Terry is probably really hovering.
And yeah, this is just like the classic back in the day, the Microsoft Word. You could like use the word art and you could change it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember the word art?
That was the best. Oh, what is Julius doing?
I don't know what's wrong with Julius tonight.
Guys, oh my God. Do your dogs just like go crazy?
It's like Myron literally vanished in thin air all these years and nothing. Yeah. Kyron. Yeah. I don't know. It's amazing. Yeah, it's like really hard to make a body disappear like that. But I guess it happens.
Yeah.
I'm just, I guess not impressed, but like some uninitiated mom could make it happen in some 90-minute window.
Yeah, if she had it planned out, if she knew if she got help from Dee Dee.
Oh, I think we actually did get to the bottom of what that exhibit's about. It's can pond turtles survive on shake and bake? What is wrong with Julius?
I don't know. We should probably call it. It's 8:33, guys.
Yeah, okay.
This was really fun.
That was a fun one, yep. Every Thursday, I guess?
Yeah.
7:30 is what we're thinking we'll do going forward. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, that was fun, guys. We'll be back
next week.
Next week. All right.
But we'll potentially see you on Instagram Live tomorrow. We should do a cook along soon.
Yeah.